Hello, friends, and welcome to the podcast. I'm very happy that you're here for our very first episode. Today, we're going to talk about advanced airway technique.
Man, shut the fuck up. Could you imagine if we were like that? Fuck out of here.
PAFNation presents a Zero Heroes Entertainment Production!
Welcome to the No Call No Show with your host, LevelZero.
Welcome, my friends, to the No Call No Show. You all asked for the podcast, so here it is. I am your host, LevelZero, joined today by my good friend, Muzzle.
Hey, what's up?
And my good buddy, Hound.
Hello.
Today's show is brought to you by Sin City Medic. A lot of you guys already know this company, and you know Mo K, who is the owner and operator of it. He's out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he does a bunch of super cool shit. He does t-shirts, he does decals, koozies, license plate covers, all that type of stuff. Not only does he do that, but he also is going to be the exclusive merchandiser for Paramedic as Fuck and Zero Heroes Entertainment. So if you're looking for some pretty cool Paramedic as Fuck gear, Zero Heroes gear, or Sin City gear, you can head to sincitymedic.weebly.com. Check out all their swag, their clothes. You can get free quotes. You can get some pretty amazing gear for yourself and your friends. So go check it out. Speaking of advertisers, though, I don't know. We're going to have to get some advertisers to keep this thing alive. But I kind of want to make sure that we get, I want advertisers.
Good ones.
Good ones. I'd like to get sponsored by some alcohol company.
So you're not talking about inflatable mattresses or, anything like that. Like you want to go straight for the A game and go to alcohol.
Exactly. I want our advertisements to be like a 1995 NASCAR. Just cigarettes and booze, right?
You'd be in heaven.
Yeah, it sounds like you're describing an episode of Mad Men.
Exactly. And then when we can afford to get a standalone studio, I'll get those Vegas style air filters so you can just smoke cigarettes inside without bugging everybody. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You go to Vegas, they all smoke or at least they used to, smoke in the casinos. But sometimes you could hardly tell because they got their...
Like the exhaust vent in the back of the ambulance.
Ah, okay.
It just works better.
Perfect. So it's one where you don't get tuberculosis at the end of the call.
Yes.
Excellent.
Those vents never work.
No.
I don't know. It's just a smell, like C. diff and shit particles just stick to the walls.
Students would turn it on when they worked with me and it didn't help.
So if you guys had a dream advertiser, who would it be?
Fuck.
Sony's got deep pockets, and they're one of the few reasons I didn't kill myself on our overnight shifts. That and you. But so let's go after Sony because, worst case scenario, they tell us to fuck off.
I thought North Korea owns Sony now or something.
Do they? Well, that's a shame.
Or they hacked into it. So Kim Jong-un, if you're listening, we'd love a sweet Sony contract.
Yeah.
Makes
just
sense,
don't blow us up.
No, you could do that. Listen, if you look at it objectively, if somebody launches a nuclear strike against us, could you really blame them? I mean, really deep down in your heart, if you think about it, could you really blame them?
I got to say, personally, I'd be a little offended, but on paper, the math adds up, right?
Offended, hey, dick, I had plans on Saturday.
Right.
But beyond that, it's really, who cares?
Not me at that point. I'll just be a heap of molten slag. So fucking go to town, I guess.
Kim Jong-un, if you're listening, we'd love your sponsorship.
Yeah, no, we'll state sponsored podcast for you right here.
Throw you some shout outs on the podcast, and in return, maybe give us a heads up and throw some money our way. Okay, so we've got Kim Jong-un's Sony. What do you think, Muzzle?
I have no idea.
Terrific.
It's the sound of disgust there. This is how you know it's a real Paramedic as Fuck podcast, because as soon as things aren't going his way, Zero is just like, fuck it. Yeah, terrific.
Not that I want to be associated with them, but Tell me how many times we had McDonald's while working the 20 to 08 shift, because they're one of the only things that's open.
I fucking love McDonald's.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
Every day during the night shift.
Yeah, I have to say.
You know what it is?
Not so much an endorsement as just like a recognition of what our lives were
Truly.
over the night shift.
Yes.
Like, I eat that shit in the dark, quiet, in an alleyway. Just
Sometimes
I'm
crying softly to yourself.
Tears, mascara running down my face as I just hate fuck like 3 Big Macs into my mouth. You know, tease my lips with the French fries.
That's why he liked working with me, because he went through my makeup.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. I had to bring it just for him.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't wear it half the time, but he did.
Makes eating McDonald's a lot more poignant.
Exactly. Exactly. I can look good while eating some French fries. Fuck you. I look good.
There's no judgment.
Anyways.
So I think we got our sponsors figured then, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're building this studio right now. So we're getting all these like amazing acoustic stuff, and we're going to get all these cool, you know, lights and stuff inside. But I also want to have a bar set up. And what would really make that bar great is if I don't have to pay for it. So Jameson, Captain Morgan, Buffalo Trace, any of you guys are listening, hit me up.
Please help.
Hit me up.
We have to tolerate LevelZero. Please help us.
Potential sponsors, he was giving you like a salute with his cup right there.
Yes.
I want you to know the respect is real.
I'm sipping on Jameson right now. Just, it's very Jameson-y.
With a bottle on the table.
Jameson and the other unofficial sponsor,
Monster Ripper. Buy it at fine convenience stores. I'm going to write a letter to those fucking people. I heard that they're trying to discontinue this Ripper.
Why are they going to discontinue it?
Because they hate me.
Right, because of people like you who drank so much over the night shift that their partners had to fucking cardiovert them.
No, that wasn't Monster.
No, not Monster at
I
all.
drank. Well, what was it? Was it Spike?
Spike.
I drank a can of Spike and had to hook myself up to a 12 lead in the back.
20 kg so we could take a look and see if you were actually like throwing couplet PVCs.
It's like, how's work going? Oh, I'm in unifocal trigeminy. No big deal. Jesus Christ. That was scary. I'll stick to Monsters. It's the right amount of pep. But we do need advertisements to stay alive. So, but we're going to offer, if any of you responders out there have your own business and you're trying to find cheap advertising, that you can hit us up. You can shoot us an email. We'll shout it out at the end of the episode. And if you're trying to get some cheap advertising, we'll see what we can do for you. Because I'd rather help out responders than
Kim Jong-un.
No, I'm no.
Pretty committed to the Supreme Leader. Then
I'm very committed to Supreme Leader. So, what do you guys think we should do for this podcast? Because we could kind of do anything we want, really. I mean, it's the very beginning. So, what should we talk about? How should we do this? Because there's some truly bad podcasts out there. I've listened to some of them.
Yes,
and we don't want to be one of those.
No, we don't. Yeah, let's not be another Nickelback of podcasting. Let's be the Pantera.
It's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
Let's do that.
I stand by it. Or Weird Al Yankovic. Fuck it.
Oh, dear.
But with more swearing, right? We do get to swear some.
No.
Some. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
In post-production, I'm going to have to bleep out every single one of those things.
Oh, fuck.
You might as well just bleep out your entire...
I know.
You're the worst.
Yeah. It's just going to sound like Morse code.
Boop, 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 boop. And that's why I don't like corporations. Bloop, 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 bloop. I feel the whiskey starting to hit my empty stomach at noon on a Friday. Ladies and
I have
gentlemen,
an empty stomach too.
We'd had no breakfast. We're recording in the morning.
And we're on our second
Muzzle and I
drink.
are already on our second whiskey drink. Hound, however, doesn't drink, which is
Somebody's got to keep this thing like in line.
Oh yeah, no.
Thank you, Hound. I appreciate that.
Definitely on the straight and narrow on this one.
It's admirable that he doesn't drink because we definitely need someone to go jingle the keys at us every few minutes.
Get us back in line.
But it's also upsetting. What would you drink if we could get an alcohol here for you? What would you drink? Mead? Would you drink mead?
No.
Grey Goose.
How did we go from mead to white girl vodka?
That's not white girl. Smirnoff is white girl vodka.
Grey Goose seems pretty white girl.
Does it? I don't know. Like, I can't help with this.
No, Grey Goose is more top. Well, I mean, I guess it could be white girl, but that's the rich. It's not me, because that's like
listen to
top
be honest,
shelf.
Look, here's the thing, though. What you're saying, women, they don't need to be able to afford the Grey Goose. They just have to go to the location where the Grey Goose is, and just have dudes buy it for them.
Let me tell you, I am not that type of person. I would buy my own shit because a dude buys you a drink, he expects something. Fuck you.
Says every woman ever.
I'll buy my own
I'll
drink.
buy my own shit.
I do.
Right. And then fucking some John Stamos looking motherfucker walks in like, what's up, girl? Let me get you that Grey Goose. You're like, okay.
No.
Well, if John Stamos walked into a bar and offered to buy me Grey Goose, I'd be like, okay. Actually, that's not true. John Stamos. No. But if Tom Hanks walked in, I would wreck Tom Hanks. Oh yeah, Tom Hanks.
Channing Tatum.
The look of bafflement.
Oh yeah.
No, he's a chiseled fucking dope.
Whatever.
Tom Hanks looks like the type of dude who could have a good conversation. Tom Hanks probably snuggles you afterwards.
I'll just snuggle myself. It's fine. I have lots of pillows for that.
Well, we've gone off the rails. What were we talking about?
Grey Goose.
Oh, the podcast. The thing we're doing right now, the podcast.
You were asking what I would drink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what would you drink if we got a drink? You don't have to get drunk, but just to
sip here and chill out.
Just to chill out,
enjoy
have fun.
the day.
I will tell you, my favorite beer is Witchwood Hobgoblin, which is no longer imported to the United States, which is a terrible shame. So I make do with Old Rasputin.
Is this a History Channel list of shows, or I've never heard.
It could be either one.
I think it is.
I could be describing a Dungeons and Dragons party. It doesn't even matter. The point is,
I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play, but I did have a question about it. Can I play Dungeons and Dragons with you? My character is a person with a suppressed pistol. Can I play?
Is this a sex thing?
Probably. Yes. Knowing him, yes.
I'd play Dungeons and Dragons if I was like a time traveler, John Wick, and you had your dragons and your trolls, and I just showed up with like a 9mm and just started clapping all you guys. Is that possible?
Anything's possible.
Neat.
So let's not talk about medicine.
Let's do an EMS show in which we talk about medicine as little as possible.
That'll work.
This just sounds like a good idea.
So maybe we just make all these people listen to us fucking grind
talk about
through
nonsense
ideas.
For hours upon end.
Exactly. Welcome to the EMS podcast. We're going to talk about hamburgers for the next 40 minutes.
I'm down. Let's do it.
The sad thing is they would relate, so
right.
It's
Why do people come to Paramedic as Fuck? Like, what is it that people at Paramedic as Fuck would expect from a podcast?
It's in the name, or in the little tagline. It's a haven for burnouts.
Right. That's all this has to be. Right? You just have burnouts, and we talk to each other.
Right. You know what's interesting is, there's a decent following, but I know that there's also this other group of people who follow it who are not allowed to like it.
Right. Because
they are managers, supervisors.
But deep down, they like it.
Oh yeah. In fact, one of my favorite supervisors ever called me drunk one night, pleading that he not end up on the page somehow. That was a pretty hilarious moment. It's like, dude, how many times have you given me like an official counseling, or that's a weird table has turned thing, where we've gone from him yelling at me and counseling me about my attitude, which was shit. To be fair,
it was.
I made this guy work for his money. The amount of the amount of phone calls this guy must have gotten over my fucking attitude. Now I have to be like, I'm not going to put you on the internet, I promise. Like, we're
He's
good.
worried about that.
We're good. I still owe you, buddy. That's the thing. I see, because on the on the Paramedic as fuck page, we thrash supervisors, but at the same time, I don't think working would have been possible without the good ones either. So those are fucking badass supervisors.
Yeah, the ones who know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And who don't just immediately get into the office and go, oh great, now I can relax and make everybody else do the work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I made it. I got my SUV, and I'm going to put 8 miles on it per month. Thanks a lot, you fucking dipshit. But you know what? I don't know what's worse. It's the person that gets their little supervisor SUV and puts 8 miles on it a month, or the person that puts 40,000 miles on it a month because they show up to every fucking call.
Right, the helicopter parents of EMS who are constantly like dropping down and going, hey, how you doing? You need any help, buddy? No, I don't. Nobody, I don't.
Yes, I need help. I need you to go to the store for me to get this.
Listen, I was trying to get lunch before you fucked me with this call, so if you could go pick that up, pay for it, and bring it to me at the hospital, that'd be super.
Hey guys, do you need any help? Fix my marriage.
You can't fix a marriage when you can't even have a good marriage yourself.
I like how that got immediately fucking zoned in on one specific person.
Zeroed in. Very personal.
So somewhere someone out there is going,
So
are
let
they
me tell
talking
you.
about me?
Yeah.
They're starting to run through all the other soups to go, is that
Wait,
about me?
if the shoe fits, honey, wear it.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yes.
We're talking about you.
Sure is you.
This whiskey tastes so good. There's no way we're going to make it through the end of this podcast.
Oh, we'll make it.
Oh, we'll make it. I don't know how much of it will make any sense.
People may not understand us.
Oh, man. There's nothing better than drinking on a Friday morning. If listeners, we're recording this day after Thanksgiving. So.
I have my fat girl pants on.
Me too. I have my fat girl pants on.
Hound's like,
All of my
okay.
pants. All of my pants are fat girl pants.
Hound is struggling to find a way to relate to what we're talking about. He's like, my pants still fit. That's why I bought them that way. Idiots. Why would you buy pants that stop working after a meal?
Stretchy pants.
We should get him some dynamite yoga pants for Christmas.
I could just give him those
With Hound
ones.
across the ass.
Oh my God, yes. Where you see like
A little cute puppy.
I have a video for that. I'll share with you guys later. Maybe I'll share now.
Let's just make him sit here and wonder what the video is. No, don't share it because the people at home can't watch.
Is it a sex thing?
What is the video?
Oh, it is. I'll show you when we're done. See, he's getting into it now.
See, I already knew it. Like, it's, anytime I start getting lost, I'm just like, I know what this is. This is a sex thing.
See, but here's at this point though is you could ask me, hey, what's the directions to get out of here? And he would want to know if it was a sexual joke.
That's also true.
Well, because everything that you say, you look at me over the mic like, and then he looks at you, and then he looks at me, and he looks back at you like, what the fuck?
See, the problem is we're doing this podcast for the fans of the page and people who want to listen. But the problem is we keep hijacking it with us wanting to make Hound uncomfortable, which is far more interesting than the podcast.
If you guys could only see the looks on his face and how red he gets.
Like pretty red, I'm guessing, by like how hot I feel.
You get very uncomfortable, and it's hilarious.
I can't wait to be sober and hungover trying to go through all these audio files of fucking nonsense. But that's where we are.
This is one of the podcasts we could talk about coping mechanisms.
I just have a bowl of
Vicodin
and benzos, bunch of tequila and whiskey, and then Hound
with water.
Sober, drinking water, while the rest of us fall apart in front of him and try to make a podcast out of it.
It would actually be super cool because, like, I could be the play-by-play and you guys could be the color, right?
Yes.
Somebody's
Announcer Hound. Coming down the straightaway, looks like Muzzle's taking 3 more Vicodin. This is her 15th in the last hour, washing it down with some Grey Goose vodka. In the corner, LevelZero's puking and crying. Well, still trying to masturbate. Not sure what's going on there. We'll get back to you after a short break.
But on a good note, I'll bring my waterproof mascara for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because this is a professional podcast.
This is a professional.
Yes.
Listen, we want to have fun, but we want to keep it professional. You know, and provide you guys with just the best internet broadcasting we can bring you. So, starting next podcast, one of these podcasts, we're just going to get fucking lit.
And have one sober one.
For science. We'll call it for science.
Why not?
I don't know. I still think we can get Hound drunk.
We will.
I think you can. I just don't think it'll be as interesting as you think as it would.
Yeah, it will. It will.
I bet it'll be more interesting than you're hoping. I think what you're afraid of is you losing control and having a good time.
I mean, there's the real possibility that that me as a drunk would be one of those happy drunks that is just like, I love you guys and we should hang out more and you remind me of my uncle but not racist.
3 shots of whiskey liquor. It's got nipple tassels and you're singing Queen songs in the bathroom.
Freddie Mercury is a genius. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Well, I know what we're doing next week. Stay tuned for the breakdown of Hound as we just
break him down.
As we just break him. Well, we've derailed again. Okay, all right.
That's a wrap.
Podcast. What's going to be in the podcast? We literally haven't even talked about it. What are we going to do?
Coping mechanisms.
Okay, but we can't sustain a show every week where we just get fucked up and talk about how we're coping poorly.
Oh, we could.
No, we could, but I feel like you'd get everything you need out of the first episode.
No, there's years and years of stuff we got to talk about.
I mean, at that point, it's just broadcast therapy, though, right?
I get Dr. Drew, celeb rehab specialist, on, and no,
he couldn't even help us.
Deepak Chopra.
Don't fucking bring up Deepak Chopra. God damn it. Here's one thing.
He is a medical professional, Hound.
No, he is not. He is not a medical professional, and you know he's not. He is as much a medical professional. He's even less of a medical professional than Dr. Oz, who is barely a fucking doctor.
He's hot, though.
Great. Good for him.
That's upsetting.
That's
an upsetting standard. Dr. Oz?
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
I would.
You would what? Finish the sentence.
Long pause while we wait for this one.
You started. Take responsibility for your thought and say it.
Do dirty things to him.
Oh, God. Yeah, but then afterwards he would talk. Gross.
Which is the worst coming out of Dr. Oz. You don't want to hear anything that comes out of that man's mouth.
Ball and gag. It's fine.
So you'd be the dominant in this Dr. Oz bondage scenario.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think you should shoot higher. I think you could do better than Dr. Oz. Like Tom Hanks.
What is with you and Tom Hanks?
I fucking love Tom Hanks.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine being snuggled by Robert
He'd be
Langdon?
the one. Have you seen where he went to a bar or something like that? This dude was passed out.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks went, and that would be you.
Yeah, that's true.
You would have random pictures of you and Tom Hanks.
Except
because he's like, let's see what we can do to this motherfucker.
I could make,
yeah.
I maintain that I could make Tom Hanks happy.
Shall we call you Wilson?
He can call me whatever he wants. He can call me whatever he wants. He'd be a cool dude to hang out with, I think.
He would.
You think we can get him on the podcast? What's he doing these days?
Maybe he'll show up and tell us how to do the podcast, since we still have come up with zero ideas. Except I want to fuck Tom Hanks, apparently.
This is exactly why I'm nervous about getting shit-faced.
No, you'll be fine.
Don't be nervous.
Are you just nervous to find out?
We'll stay sober for you.
Are you nervous to find out which male celebrity
you want to fuck?
You let into your tender, sweet cheeks?
I'd be more nervous about there being an audio record of that.
Oh, there will be.
Yeah, see, that's the worrying part.
Why? Just embrace it. Just embrace it.
What else are we going to do on this podcast, Zero?
Oh, deflection. Maybe we'll do a whole episode. Maybe one of these days where you're gone, the entire episode will be Muzzle and I dedicated to trying to find your perfect drunken celebrity encounter.
Ugh. Man, that's a there's a lot of levels there.
I bet you let Kit Harington do stuff to you. Maybe not everything, but some stuff.
Kit Harington. Oh no.
Well, we've derailed again. We're podcasting right now with no direction or idea of what we're trying to do. I have no idea what we're trying to do.
We are a rudderless craft. Give us direction.
You give me direction.
Do segments.
You tell me how to live my life.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to cooperate here, and you're making this real fucking difficult, Zero.
Zero always makes things difficult, though.
Is that the MO for the podcast?
Yes.
We just sign in. We're like, today we're going to talk about airway, and Zero's like, nah. No, we're not.
I'm going to make this just a painful hate fuck for all people involved.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paramedic is Fuck podcast.
Oh, unlubricated. It's an hour of unlubricated, painful dialogue between two inebriated people and a voice of reason desperately trying to leave on time.
What can our burnouts count on?
Fuck.
Like every week.
Us drinking.
Okay.
Us drinking.
Zero and I drinking.
Perfect.
We're all drinking while you're on shift listening to this in your ambulance. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Sorry about that. We apologize. We're not drinking.
Very much.
There's people on shift right now going, go fuck yourselves.
After 20 solid minutes of recording, where you're referring to drinking and being like, we're not drinking. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Jesus. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Segments for sure. But I think each episode should have a different topic. So we have some kind of light at the end of the tunnel that we're gaggle fucking our way towards trying to stay on topic.
So this week's topic is essentially, what the fuck are we doing?
Yes.
Good? Okay.
But the next episode will be about corporate shit. And I think we'll just have random conversations that we desperately try to steer back to the topic at hand.
So far, in the same mold as we've been continuing then.
Yeah, I don't foresee myself being very organized at this. But segments will probably help us do that, I guess.
Such as?
I don't know. What do you think?
So, if we're talking to burnouts, they probably need to take care of themselves, Zero. We need some self-care.
Oh, yeah. Some totally not sarcastic tips for self-care. Because, listen, you can eat all the asparagus and kale that you want, keep your body, but you got to keep your mind healthy, right?
And we just need to know how to do that.
We just need to know how to do that. So what is Zero Hero's tips to staying healthy in their mind, body, and spirit?
Clearly, as people who are very healthy in all of those things, we are the best to bring this advice to you.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
if you look, all the people in EMS, they're fit.
Yeah.
They eat
That's
great.
not true.
Yeah, no, super true. Super true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meal preparation. Yeah.
Yeah, these
They
are
do
all,
that.
We are all very well founded to like.
I've
give
gone to
advice on.
Sonic for 3 separate meals in one day.
I've gone to 7-Eleven for 3 separate meals.
But here's something. So self-tips. So, I don't know if we're trying to think about how many providers out there have gotten arrested or fired for doing narcotics that they stole. Here's a good self-help tip. Do not take narcotics from work. It's only going to ruin your life. Go to the doctor and complain of fake back pain like the rest of us to get your Vicodin script
Touche. Okay.
and do it legally.
Gotcha.
Lie. There's no reason to steal when you can just make some shit up to a doctor who's just phoning it in.
And this has been a life tip from Level
It's
Zero.
a great one. Why didn't I hear that years ago?
Oh, man. But it's for burnouts, too, but I don't think we should exclude students. I want students to feel welcome here.
Absolutely.
They're very welcome. We love students.
So how do we do that?
we give them a comforting, safe space where they can get tips that are just going to bring them to like.
There it is. Because that's the thing. With experience comes your obligation to educate the new generation coming in. Right?
Sure. EMS eats its young. We're going to turn that around.
We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around. So listen here, EMT student, paramedic student, we're here for you. We don't want you to tune out. We're going to provide some amazing educational tips that are in no way sarcastic or mean-spirited. It's gonna help you get your career on track, help you save lives, you know?
Save lots of lives.
Exactly. I mean, you've watched the shows. You watched that show, Trauma. You know what it's all about. You're here to save lives, goddammit. And goddammit, we're going to help you.
And Chicago Fire. Isn't that a good one?
Oh, my God. I have never seen a show that so accurately depicts my life, my struggles, my experience as Chicago Fire. Just a top-notch show. Well, it's true. They all fuck each other. That's about the only true part.
Yeah.
They all fornicate each other. That's about the only true aspect of that.
It's the kind of hard-hitting truth you're not going to get reading
He
Gems.
wouldn't know that truth, though.
Who? Hound wouldn't?
Yeah.
How do you know? I think we should do a segment where we just thrash the shit out of some of those garbage articles. How many articles have you seen pop up in your Facebook about another EMT getting assaulted in Kentucky? Well, no shit.
Too many.
Of course it happens.
It's a daily life on the ambulance. Dumb motherfuckers.
That's the kind of hard-hitting journalism that we're going to take on here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Hard hitting, no pun intended.
Yeah, if we're gonna blow the whistle on bullshit journalism, Zero, we need some bona fide hero shit as well.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure there's some cool stories. Some bona fide hero shit out there.
Yeah,
probably. I feel like I need a cup of coffee or something.
This is what happens when you drink.
Students.
It's good times.
Is this just the no call, no show version of saying like stay in school, kids?
I guess. Maybe we should put out a whole other show too. I think we'll put out the late call. Will be another podcast where it's all the clips of us fucking off. So maybe we'll do this. We'll do this podcast.
We'll trim this down to a cool 20 minutes and then have 4 hours for the late call.
4 hours of us just not keeping it together.
The true us.
You can see. Wow, they had to trim a lot of fat to make them sound like intelligent human beings on that fucking podcast. It's 6.5 hours of fucking bullshit. And they trimmed it down to 11 minutes in which they talked briefly about the downsides to corporate medicine. I think it's going to work.
Oh, it's going to work.
No, this is a roadmap to success right here.
How could it not work? I'm basing this entire thing off a Facebook page. This is going to work for sure. We're fucked. We are so fucked.
Cheers.
Have another.
The 6 people listening to this podcast are like, ooh, this is not going to go well for these guys.
Ooh, that's a shame.
Let's start a GoFundMe account for them because they're for sure going to need rent money. Oh, my gosh. Well, the next episode is going to be corporate as fuck, I think.
Yes.
And then what we'll do is we'll try to release ahead of time, like on Facebook, what topics we'll talk about. And then you guys can email in stories. Try to keep them brief so we're not reading a novel every night.
And we don't want to know about your worst call, this, that, and the other. We want to know about funny shit that's happened. Yeah.
I'm interested in just the funny shit. In fact, if you send in a story of something stupid you did, you're far more likely to get on then. So just send in some stories. Send in some funny stories that we can all talk about and joke about. Because we want you guys involved, right? This podcast exists for you guys. Certainly not for us, except for an excuse to drink while staring at each other.
I mean, if so, we're like knocking this shit out of the park.
Look, we don't need listeners to keep this shit going. We're just going to keep going no matter what.
Home run.
So send them some stuff in. We'll start letting you guys know what the topics will be. So if you have a funny story related to those topics, then you got to email them in. And we'll do our best to sift through them and find the best ones and talk about them. How can they, where can they email us at?
So to send in your stories, send them to LevelZero PAF, PAF @gmail.com. Again, funny stories. We don't care if you're your own hero or not. We want the funny shit.
That's why we're calling it Zero Heroes. There's no room for heroes, just friends with funny stories. I think that should be the mission statement of the podcast. Friends with funny stories who are intoxicated while you're listening to this at work.
Or at work. Sorry if you're at work and you can't drink right now.
We're drinking for you.
We'll have one for you.
Heart and soul and prayers are with you. You'll get that drink, buddy. You'll get that shot, sweetheart. It's almost over. You're almost done.
Until then, cheers.
Until then, cheers. I think tentatively, maybe we'll try to release them. What do you think, Monday or Friday? When do you think?
Probably Friday.
Friday gives us a lot of time to make sure everything's locked down.
There we go. So we'll drink heavily, record the podcast, be hungover.
Yes.
Then a few days later, get to editing, and then release it for the people to consume in small quantities before they go back to their Joe Rogan podcast. All right, guys. We hope you have a good one. We will talk to you next week, I guess.
Peace out.
Medic 67, sorry, but I need you for a late call.
I would rather have Michael J. Fox shave me with a straight razor after forcing him to smoke meth than run your fucking late call. Please show me how to serve this. You guys have a safe one. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you later.
Damn, son. Isn't that enough?